Now, I'm sure you've done a ton of interviews about being on the show. What is one thing, though, that you could say you took away from the show? Something positive. Because, it's a positive podcast. or negative. You know what? I don't give a...
honey, you can also spill some tea. Something you learned about yourself that you didn't know before.
Give us a little bit of both. Sugar and spice.
There you go.
Some insights. Well, I definitely have a lot of positives. I don't have any regrets walking away from the show. No, I think one of the biggest thing was just the amount of people that I met through the experience. Because I think when you sign up for the show, you're kind of just thinking about The Bachelor. And you're not really thinking of all the friendships that you get out of it, all the friendships that come out of it. And yeah, it was definitely a really challenging process to go through because you have to open up so quickly. And that's not something that I've ever really had to do before. I think moving forward, I think it's definitely given me a lot more confidence in just kind of being myself. But it's definitely a lot of positives for sure.
Okay.
So I have a follow-up. So I know you just said you feel like you have to open up pretty quickly. Is that because you've watched the show in the past and you've seen people and for you, you told Matt very early on about your hearing, and was that something that you wanted, that you knew you were going to do, or you didn't know when you were going to do it? Like, what was your mindset with that?
Yeah, so I definitely knew going in, especially the first night, I was like, I just want to lay it out on the table and just kind of let him know right away. Because I just kind of talked about, trying to date previously and not disclosing it. It's been awkward and it hasn't gone well. And so I was just like, if I'm going to do this super crazy process, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and just tell him right away. And I'm really glad that I did. He was really nice and really receptive about it. But I think it's more than, just talking about my hearing loss. I think it was, you just have to open up about what you're looking for in a relationship, insecurities when it comes to dating so quickly. And yeah, it's a weird feeling because you feel like really attracted to Matt. You feel like you have a stronger connection because of that. But at the same time, you're like, well, we've only actually hung out maybe 3 or 4 times. Like, it's a different sort of dynamic. But no, I think he was just really easy to talk to at the end of the day. And so it just made it so much easier.
You had just said that in previous relationships, you didn't bring up the fact that you did have hearing loss. And so did you feel like it had to be something you had to talk about, that it would hinder you? I guess because you said it didn't go over well in the past. But like, did you feel like that really needed to be a big topic in your relationship right off the bat? Or did you want to just be yourself, like the way that you presented yourself coming out of limo?
Yeah. So like when it was like awkward, it was more because I didn't disclose it. And sometimes I just don't pick up everything. And sometimes it can give people the wrong impression if they don't know about my whole situation. Like I talked about, I went to Top Golf one time and I just couldn't hear everything because it's so loud there, especially with a lot of background noise. I just can't hear everything in the conversation. And so I think I gave him the impression that I wasn't interested or I was being rude. And so that's why it didn't go well. So that's why when I went into it with Matt, I just wanted to just kind of lay it out and just, in case I didn't hear him say something and, there's so many women there and you kind of get in your head, you're like, okay, the smallest thing could turn him off, about me because he has other options. And so I just wanted to lay it out and just say, if I don't respond to you in a group setting, I'm not being rude. I just can't pick up everything. So that's kind of why I wanted to just kind of let him know right away.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I just wanted to get to know. Yeah. I think it's really genuine of you. And the fact that you really just, I'm not listening to you. I just might not be able to hear you amongst all the women talking.
Yeah. And also, I think that's also, it's a part of you. It's something that is a part of you. And I think that in dating, just like you said, opening up about this earlier than later, we talk about like kids and getting married and like all these different things on the podcast all the time. And a lot of people will, in the past, I've been on dates with guys who have children and they would keep that from me. And it's like, why would you keep that from me? You keeping it from me is what made it weird now, right?
Makes it a thing.
I agree.
maybe not when you first sit down with someone like, I want 5 kids. Hi, not saying
Hey, what's wrong with that? I did that. What's wrong with that?
Well, but not I'm saying like on your first meeting, when you first sit down with someone, I feel that, but it's like, if this is something that you really want and you're dating to marry, it's something that you just need to be open about. And I think that's really beautiful. And a part of your story, people can take that to whatever that is in their life that they want to bring into their relationship that is a part of them. I think that's beautiful. I think that's great.
I agree.
I think that's something that we can really all learn from. So be open.